Dr. Alex Carter adjusted his flashlight, the beam flickering over the stone walls of the ancient chamber. He wasn't in Egypt. He wasn't even in Africa. Deep beneath the dense jungles of Mexico, he and his team had uncovered something extraordinary, an underground tunnel leading to a hidden pyramid, untouched for centuries. The world had long believed that the Egyptians were the masters of pyramid construction, but Dr. Carter had spent his career chasing a controversial theory. The pyramid-building civilizations were somehow connected. His latest discovery, a pyramid buried beneath the Mayan city of Calakmul, was about to prove it. The walls of the tunnel were covered in carvings, eerily similar to Egyptian hieroglyphs. He traced a finger over one of the symbols, his pulse quickening. The depiction showed a group of people wearing feathered headdresses standing before a massive pyramid, presenting an offering to a god with an elongated skull. It was an uncanny resemblance to the Egyptian depictions of Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom. "How is this possible?" murmured Dr. Carter's assistant, Maria. "The Egyptians and the Maya were separated by oceans and thousands of years." "Unless," Dr. Carter whispered, "they weren't." As they pushed forward, they entered the heart of the hidden pyramid. The chamber was vast, with a domed ceiling glittering with golden inlays of celestial bodies. At the center stood a stone sarcophagus, its lid carved with symbols that fused Egyptian and Mesoamerican motifs. The realization hit Dr. Carter like a thunderbolt. This was evidence of direct contact between the two civilizations. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A gust of stale air whooshed through the chamber, carrying with it an eerie whisper. The hieroglyphs along the walls seemed to shift in the flickering light. Maria gasped and stumbled back. "What's happening?" she asked, panic creeping into her voice. Dr. Carter's mind raced. Was this some sort of ancient mechanism? A trap? Or something else? He ran his hands over the carvings, his trained eyes deciphering the inscriptions. His heart pounded as he read aloud, "When the pyramid's secret is revealed, the watchers shall awaken." A deep rumbling sound echoed through the chamber, then silence. Maria reached for his arm. "Let's get out of here." But Dr. Carter wasn't ready to leave. This discovery changed everything. If the Egyptians and the Maya had shared knowledge, what else had they left behind? And who, or what, were the Watchers? As he took a step toward the sarcophagus, something moved in the shadows. Then a sudden gust of air extinguished their lights, plunging them into darkness. Maria screamed. The sound echoed eerily through the chamber as Dr. Carter fumbled for his flashlight. When he flicked it back on, the symbols on the sarcophagus glowed with an eerie blue light. Maria's voice was barely a whisper. "Alex, we're not alone." From the darkness, a deep voice rumbled, speaking in a language neither of them had ever heard, yet somehow understood. "You have awakened the keepers of the great knowledge." The chamber vibrated again, and suddenly figures emerged from the walls, statues coming to life, their stone eyes glowing with the same ethereal blue. The beings were humanoid but had elongated skulls, like the ones depicted in both Egyptian and Mesoamerican carvings. Their presence radiated an aura of ancient wisdom and warning. Dr. Carter barely had time to react before the figures stepped forward. One raised its hand, and an unseen force pushed him and Maria back toward the entrance. "Leave now," the figure commanded. "The secret must remain." "But this changes everything," Dr. Carter protested, his mind racing with the implications of their discovery. The connection has always been," the figure interrupted. "But the world is not ready." With that, the air grew thick, and a powerful force pulled them backward. The tunnel walls began to crumble, sealing the entrance behind them. As the last glimpse of the chamber disappeared into darkness, Maria and Dr. Carter found themselves outside the pyramid, gasping for air. Maria turned to him, her face pale. "Did that really just happen?" Dr. Carter stared at the sealed entrance, his heart pounding. He had spent his life searching for proof. Now he had it, but it would remain buried just as the keepers intended. Yet, as he looked down at his hand, he realized something had changed. A small glowing symbol had been imprinted on his palm, a message, a key. The lost connection between the pyramids was no longer just a theory, it was only the beginning. As they recovered from the shock, the jungle around them seemed eerily quiet. Even the birds had stopped singing. Dr. Carter turned to Maria, his mind already calculating their next move. "We can't just leave it like this," he said, his voice steady despite the lingering fear. "This is bigger than anything we've ever imagined." Mab,